Welcome to another episode of Middle Ground Floor, where we can agree to disagree and still be family. I'm your host, JLE. My amazing co-host, Terry, is on break for a minute. But got to finish out this season. So we're going to have a great episode about why men cheat. This topic, my sister-in-law sent it to me about a reel she saw where a guy was explaining a reason why he might have a side chick. It's kind of compelling stuff, so I figured me and the fellas have a conversation about it. And got the fellas I can have, so I'm gonna be nice. I ain't gonna talk smack. I'll wait till you get on camera. No, this man since middle school. But I'm be professional. I ain't gonna call him no candy ass or nothing like that. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna be nice. This is my man Jerome coming to the stage, Jerome. What up, sir?
What up, though, good people? I hope all is well. I appreciate you inviting me out tonight, brother.
Yeah, because when I watched that video, it was kind of interesting, the reason on why men cheat. Now, I looked up a stat of my own, and I found back in February, a study said 20% of men and 13% of married women admit to having sex with someone other than their marriage, outside of their marriage, averaging 16% overall. Now, the clip that I watched, the guy explained how the side chick would be, and I got to disclaim anybody, we don't condone cheating. You got to put that out there. Don't want no bull jive, no bull yet, no one of that. We don't condone none of that. We're just a conversation about fellas on the mindset of different scenarios. In this particular scenario, he was talking about, well, the side chick will still respect and be his peace, even if he ain't on his game, even though he wrong for what he doing, but he's getting that from her compared to at home. What's your thoughts, Ron?
Wow. When you was telling me about the topic earlier, I was thinking, I always say when it comes to men cheating, in particular for marriages, I always feel like you have three different types of men. And the first type of man you have is the man is going to do the right thing all the time. It just, he knows the environments to stay away from. He sees the signs of something not being right, and he's going to do the right thing all the time. The second dude is, I think a lot of women sometimes can miss things because they're not using the right levels of discernment, and they don't realize the dude you're dating, he's a cheater, always has been a cheater. And it is what it is because that's who he is. And it's kind of like you just didn't pick up on those cues or those signs because sometimes we as humans can be blinded. We can be blinded we can be blinded in good looks. We can be blinded in the bedroom. We can be blinded by the cashing you out. You know how that works, Jeff. That dollar sign. Hey, these women get Wolverine healing powers when you break out their money and stuff. So it's an amazing deal, man. I think that some people just gotta, they gotta be real with themselves. The last type of dude is the dude that you're talking about right now, where it's what's the word I'm looking for? Instant gratification. It's kind of one of those things where everybody cheat for different reasons. And in this case, my man basically, he justifying the wrongdoing. He like, hey, at the end of the day, this my piece. I don't have to deal with the nagging, whatever his case may be. But everybody has a reason for what they're doing. And what he's saying is, hey, she my piece. I don't have no problems. She's not giving me no back talk, any of those type of things. So he's getting what he's looking for.
And it's not to say that scenario don't become worse, that he leave what he got and be with that person. It could be worse. And a few occasions, they work out. but those percentages are not that high. The grass ain't always greener. But you do see a lot of video clips now where, oh, this dude want to take me to Applebee's. He a scrub. He make only 50,000. He a bum. Like, that's a decent living. And you actually had some videos, and not just black women, all women. Okay, you on your purpose? Well, I'll holler back at you when you at the finish line. Do you think he don't want to roll with you once he went through all the grime and grit to make that a reality, and you did nothing to help along the way?
Right.
You expect these people all the benefits? No. I don't think a woman would do that. If the dude didn't help whatever she's working on, he just like, yeah, come on, baby. At the end, I got you. Like, you ain't even rub my feet on this journey.
Right.
You want the champagne and the caviar? Like, nah, man. And that's why people don't want to build like they used to. They want the finished product.
No, I agree, man. I also think when it comes to, like I said, I'm gonna speak from the marriage standpoint, because that's what it's been for me for the last umpteen years. So I'll just say the main thing I think, and what I read and see and listen to the podcast, it seems like a lot of times, like some of the men, we'll speak from the men's standpoint to answer your sister-in-law's question. Some men is marrying the woman for her body. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Some dudes, if she gained 5 pounds, it might be over with. It's
a deal breaker. She's horrible. Like,
it's a deal breaker. Yeah, it's some dudes that dated you and they fell in love with your body on top of your personality and all of that. But let you gain 5 pounds, they out of there. And that's, it's a disheartening thing, but some people marry for the body. It's very few people marrying people for the person, for who they are, who they fell in love with, things like that. Hey, she can be a great mother. She'll make a great wife. She'll make a great teammate, life partner. We gonna be able to do this till death do us part. A lot of people don't look at it like that, man. They go in there. We can just call it self-gratification or whatever terminologies you want to use, but it's for selfish reasons. And I don't even know if you remember these conversations I used to have with your mom and her friends. On the porch, they were like, they're like, hey, what type of woman you looking for? I said, hey, man, I just want somebody that, love themselves and take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't want somebody who just basically don't love themselves. They don't take care of themselves. So they was like, what that mean? I said, that means she knows where the gym is at. She ain't got to be the best body in the world, but I said she at least knows where the park is at. She knows where the gym is at. Hey, and they didn't like that, man. They didn't like that.
No, they did. I remember. I do.
Yeah, they didn't like that. And I told them, I said, y'all missing what I'm saying. I didn't say she had to be a size 4 or size 2. Mm-hmm. I said she has to know where the gym is at, meaning, hey, it's a gym on 6 Mile in this. Hey, it's a gym on Telegraph. Hey, my thing is, because at the end of the day,
you was adamant about that too.
Hey, Jeff. At the end of the day, man, my thing was, hey, this dude laughing. Hey, man.
About that, but you was like, damn it, that's a bridge too far. You can't. I'll drop you off. You ain't going. Hey, I don't know about that.
Hey, my thing was, Jeff. My thing is at the end of the day, if we're going to be together for life, health is wealth. You know what I mean? So my thing is, even if I'm dating somebody and they're a plus size woman, I would love you as the plus size woman, But at the end of the day, once we start to go to our MDs, doing our physical every year, if the doctor starts telling you, hey, you need to lose weight because of XYZ, we're a team. We're going to make sure you reach your goals, I reach my goals. Mm-hmm. And everything in life is not about, the career goal. Sometimes it's an actual health goal. So I think like when you start talking about, the cheating thing, sometimes somebody not taking enough. Actually, I read, you talking about looking at studies. I was looking at some of the reasons that men and women out here cheating is because of low self-esteem.
Yeah, forget about that.
They don't even feel that they look and feel. It's always a look and it's always a feeling the same, and feeling that they, may still have it or ever had it for that matter. And so because of that, it's kind of like, well, maybe she the only one in the world that wants me, and woe is me type of thing. And it starts, weighing on them heavy. Next thing you know, they slip up, and it's kind of like that's what they was blaming it on. In the study that I read, it was low self-esteem.
Yeah. And it will shock you. They could look like a baddie, and you start talking, find out parents put stuff on them, and they are low self-esteem. I didn't even realize it. And they're not even working out for themselves. It's more because it's been embedded. You too thick. You fat. You need to fix that. And nothing wrong with them.
Right.
Just a thick black woman. Good. But they've been hearing that for so long, or compared to a sibling or a cousin or someone, to where I'm not that size. And I'm sorry, America, but I ain't with the olive oil. Has something to brother like that. I like a little bit of meat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, don't care what your color is. I like a little bit of meat. I don't mean no harm. Whoever watches this, if you're 100 pounds, God bless you. I don't mean no harm, but I like a little bit of meat. 150, I ain't mad at you. I want to see that thing jiggle a little bit when you walk out like, there we go. I don't want to see no stick walking back. I'm sorry.
Hey, all I can say about that, when you talk about the physical physique, my story. I was 125 soaking wet when we was in high school. And
you gained some weight.
As soon as I said I do, I blew up. That's all I can say. I don't know what all of that means. I ain't seen the scripture yet that tells you about that, but I can tell you one thing. Soon as I said I do, I went to the barbershop. He said, man, what have you been doing? I said, dude, I call myself going to the gym, but I'm also in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah, that's gonna put muscle mass on you.
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy.
Regular meals like mom used to make coming in, it's gonna change it up for you. Now,
so when you talking about this topic overall, what was your sister-in-law's question specifically? Just kind of broad and general, just saying, hey, why do
she
they?
Said it'd be a good topic. And when I watched the video, I'm like, okay. I mean, I can understand the emotional connection if you might not be getting that at home. I mean, I'm separated, so I guess I'll talk from the devil advocate side of it. For whatever reason, your part, y'all ain't vibe, y'all ain't working, y'all back out in the streets. Oddly, people are more to the point with you. You see stuff a little more clear, a little more quicker than what you probably didn't notice before. And now if you come across your purpose and you more focused on building something, like I was humble enough to come across, you really see stuff quick, like, okay, it's all about you. No, I'm good. I got time for that. That was when I was on my Captain Save 'em days. I got all day the boys and me and you whining down. I got stuff to do. I ain't got 100 hours straight just to be all about you right now, boo boo. You bang, you're amazing, but no, I'm trying to build.
No, what's crazy about that is I honestly think that those of us out there that's spiritual, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, You believe in a higher power. I think that is the one thing that keep people disciplined and in line to do the right thing and motivated to do the right thing. It's kind of like you know, some people may call it a bad analogy, but when we're driving our cars, we got green, which means go, yellow, slow down, and then the red light. And is not many of us that's going to recklessly go out there and run multiple red lights because we know the consequences that can happen because of that. And so I feel like when you have the spiritual and the ethical sides of things like that, and you're standing on those principles, the Proverbs woman of 31, chapter 31, they always preaching, go out there and get your Boaz and, wait on your Boaz and all those type of things. My thing is when you have those spiritual standards, you're trying to do the right thing before God and live the right way. So that's been the most successful relationships that I've seen personally. Even people who don't believe in God and or any higher being, and they actually make a commitment to basically it's not necessarily out loving the other person, but it's making that sacrifice to please the spouse that you have and that life partner. I think that's that section. I don't even want to put a number on it, but that section that has the great success, because marriage is work. If you don't put in the work to be happy in this thing, man, it's gonna be ugly.
And what you're saying is my total facts. God created marriage, so if you've done it, that should be the foundation. But a lot of people believe in God to agree, but don't want Him in it. Which is kind of weird because, like, you say all these vows, and you ain't paying no damn attention to what was being said when you said it. Because the way you moving, you didn't think none of this through. You just straight them on emotion. If you really thinking about sickness, health, good times, bad times, and a list of when you get on my last nerve, I'm gonna cool off and still come to this house and work it out with you. You can add to that list that you're saying I do too. A lot of people ain't really paying attention to words like that, like they should. It's fun and games, in my opinion. I did it. No. I ain't gonna be single forever. Had a big wedding. Year later, they divorced. They screwing. They got boyfriend. Like, huh? When you went to this 20 grand wedding, they just and already what? They went to the counselor. They went to the pastor. they did all the right steps, but them vows wasn't rooted. They didn't really listen to it.
Right. I think a lot of times in some of the marriages that's happening today, whether they're our age group, from the 70s, Generation X, to the Generation Y, to the millennials, I think that a lot of people go in not really understanding that wedding day is just that. That's the fun, that's the glitz, that's the glam. You can have the most lavish wedding day of all time and the worst marriage of all time, and you look at that and those hours leading up to it, the pictures that you take, all of that stuff is fun, but everything changes when you guys, it's just you and that person. And I tell people all the time, some people call it seasons, like we got the fall, we have the summer, the spring, and the winter. When you in marriage, you're going to see all the seasons, all the seasons when it comes to
you are going to learn how fucked up their parents were to that child that they never let anyone know about. Just being totally honest. That they don't even realize.
No, you know what's funny? It's funny you say that.
All going to come out in that house with y'all like, I didn't know this. Yeah. At 5, they did what? And they said what? Yeah. Like, oh my God, I did not know that. And
it's funny. It's funny you say that because I was reading this was right after we went through COVID. It said that 91% of the women who grow up in single parent households, 91%, we're not talking about blacks, whites, we're talking across the board. 91% of them, they end up in divorce because of whatever reason. What I think the reason is because they're getting a lot of bad advice along the way. And let's just be honest, what you're talking about, those I call it childhood unaddressed dysfunctional things that happen in trauma. If those things go unaddressed, all you're doing is putting Band-Aid on something that needs surgery by the time you get to your adulthood. So, you're thinking you're good,
nice.
Outside of physically, you're looking good, and you go into that thing and you see how dressed up the person is. It's like seeing somebody without the makeup for the first time. I tell you, a real situation happened to me at State. I'm in the class with the girl, and I had never seen my man girlfriend without makeup. So we in the class together, and she pushed me, and I'm looking like, damn, did I swing on this girl? Like, who is this? I didn't. Man, I'm looking at the girl like, dude, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna hit no woman, but I don't know who
condone violence.
hey, we don't condone violence, but man, I did not recognize the young lady. And then when I was like, hey, because I was like, for her to do that, I'm like, okay, it's somebody's boyfriend. Yeah. So I was like, hey, I said, where your man at? And then soon as she said his name, I was like, whoa. Like, oh my goodness, hey, makeup can make or break a person in the situation. And if you don't know what you get yourself, that's how I look at marriage. You can go in here and dress this thing up and make it look good for the outside people, but internally, you got World War III going on, and only y'all two know what's going on, and God and everything. And it's like the marriage. I tell everybody, man, do premarital counseling, do other counseling. I don't care if you got to do the whatever's going on, whatever kind of issues you think could possibly come up, childhood issue, go do whatever therapy is needed before you say I do, because once you say I do, man, you're going to go through life. You're going to go through life challenges, man. I'm talking some serious life challenges.
Unfortunately, the person might not even realize something at age 5 affected them and been festering, and something minute triggers it. And y'all just figure out, oh, wow, that's why you started doing that, because that happened. And the person got to accept that happened, because if you've been through some real jacked up stuff, man, I don't want to remember none of it. Like, okay, your parent was abusive or this or that, or you saw your relative murdered in front of you. I don't remember none of it. Like, they were right in the room. What they're talking about, like, they put that mental block up. They don't remember. But one day it's coming down, and hopefully you have someone that is strong in the word that can help you through to where they can get you the right help. Because when that mental block come down, you might find out like, what the world? They just flipped out. Start screaming somebody's name. And like, that's that night so-and-so, whatever. Like, oh. Okay, well, I'll try to make sure they hurt themselves. Okay, let's go get you the help, because all of us, to a degree, because our parents did the best they could.
Absolutely.
Not saying nobody parent better than other. They did the best they could what they knew. But it don't mean they may not have said or done something that put a trigger in you. And when you get married and y'all getting at home, the real you has to come out. And that real you has a lot of different personalities. Not saying you crazy or nothing like that, but you have different thoughts and moods. Where a person might like to, every Saturday at 1:00, they want to go sit on the porch and read a book. Like, I've been dating this person for 5 years. I ain't never seen them read a book. And I ain't want you to know that personality.
Right. I think what you touching on, it boils down to when you getting ready to say I do, you have to learn how to do effective communication. Because if you really think about it, man, I've known people who've been married without saying anyone's names out there. I've known people who, from co-workers, people like that, they'll say, man, I haven't spoken to my wife in 4 days. And I'm like, 4 days? You know, you're in the same household, whether you have kids or not. And for you to not speak to your wife, you know, my thing is, this was before we went through COVID. But now that we went through COVID, life is too short for me to be mad at you to that extent, to where, because it's a scripture, I don't know it off the top of my head right now, but it basically tells you to not let the sun go down. Yeah, where we don't let the sun set, basically with you having that level of anger. Basically, before you go to bed, you got to release that thing. And I've been in, you know, you've seen me in some relationships in the past where we could argue and have a disagreement, but my story is not going to change. It's kind of like, if you tell me, hey, why did you go do A, B, and C? Okay, I'm telling you why I did A, B, and C. You thinking it's going to be a different story, but my story's not changing because it's my truth. And either you're going to accept it or you're not. But it's crazy.
Now, I've had those moments before where I was that pissed off at a situation that nothing positive was going to come out my mouth. Like, don't say one damn word until you calm down. Oh, you going to be on autopilot. Go to work. Hey, drop me off. Woo woo. That's it. And after about 3 or 4 days, you ain't even talking like, because I have nothing nice to say to you. Now, when I say it, I meant every word of it. I ain't taking that shit back. I meant it. And I know that personality that I call burn the world to the ground when you piss me off, but I have him locked away watching cartoons in my head. I don't want him to come out because I mean every word what I'm going to say. So I want to stay diplomatic and keep watching Bishop Butler and keep watching scripture. Calm it down to where I can have a grown conversation because I'm heating. Like, people used to tell me you get that shit. Like, nah, man, they lying. Like, oh, Lord, these people weren't right. I'm still pissed. This day 3. Don't say nothing. It's going World War III going to happen. It's like, you said what? Like, hey, I meant that. Hey, F it. I meant that word up. I was still upset.
Hey, but you know what you saying is real, and that's the reason why I say more. I don't know if it necessarily have to come from the church per se. It can actually just be relationship, you know, life coach, therapist, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I feel like more couples need to go into the marriage knowing how to effectively communicate, because we're going to have disagreements. You know, it could be something. Yeah, you're going to have disagreements. It could be from the next car that you guys are going to purchase to something as big as which house you're going to purchase, to something as small and petty as, you know, hey, you got to stop spending all this money on Amazon. You know, saying that's outside of our budget. You know, so it's one of those things where when you get into marriage, if you're doing it the right way, you know, because a lot of people don't want to have that conversation. Nobody want to have the conversation.
Emotional confrontations. People don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Scary.
They don't want to have that conversation.
But you gotta have.
And see, you used to hear people say all the time, "Happy wife, happy life," and it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that people said that over the years, because look at how one-sided that is. If we're going off of scripture, the man is supposed to be the leader of the household, and Christ is supposed to be the leader of the man, and then, you know, his is God. So my thing is, it's a whole formation that we're supposed to follow. And since we like football, it's a formation we all supposed to follow, man. And when you don't follow that alignment, it kind of like, you know, my thing is
happy life.
Yeah. I mean, so now I tell everybody, you want to say happy spouse, happy house. You know, because if you're not happy as the man, it's not going to be a good thing. And we were just talking about you got to work to be happy. You got to work to be happy as the husband. She's got to work to be happy as the wife. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you're really trying to keep your spouse from even taking it there and having a opportunity to be in a position to think about somebody else, you really got to keep the enemy from around your territory, if you will. And the best way for you to do that is for you to stay prayed up, have that effective communication, and make sure that you guys talk about what your goals are, what you see in the future. Because some people, this
don't
is how
tell
deep.
Everybody your business.
Yeah, don't tell. Hey, there you go. Hey, we living in a generation right now. Everybody's doing things for likes on social media. Yeah. And everybody's putting their business on social media. Everybody's got to break out a phone and record it. And see, the thing about that is, say your spouse is, and I'm not talking about you, I'm just speaking in general. Say your spouse is arguing with you, she records it. And she goes and tell her family, hey, you know, look at what he said to me, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't forgive you. Now her family members hasn't forgave you. So the next family function you go to,
it's problem.
It might be, you might have to throw some hands. You going over there with your Bible in your hand, tell about, hey, I'm about to bless the food. Like, no, I'll tell you what you go bless these hands when we go outside. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't hit your, you know, sister or your niece. Did you see what I said to her?
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It really is. And you get blindsided in those situations.
And I've debated people oddly over that phrase. Like, well, you don't understand. Like, no, I listen to the wording. Happy wife, happy life. That don't say nothing about the husband. If he ain't feeling this, he leave. Now what you got? Mm-hmm. So you should say happy spouse, happy house, or happy us, happy life. Both of us are getting something out of this deal. Not one-sided.
It's got to be a two-way street.
You on your own. And it's not enough men. Allegedly, they say the women-men ratio. It's a lot of options for that dude to say, I'm up, man, this is bullshit. I'm out of here. I'm not a bank account. Making sure everybody else happy and I'm miserable in silence. And these two things over here saying, what's going on, daddy? How you feeling? Like, I'm feeling like some bullshit. This kid over here ain't doing nothing for me. What's your name? And he gone. Ain't right. But he over there feeling like he the king because he getting treated like king. Like, dang, well, you ain't take care of your husband. Y'all said, you know, dude, like, nah, great folks. Them same people who were talking that crap to you, you need to do this and do that. Now, you had a good one. You should have been on your game. Like, what y'all told me. Don't listen to people.
Hey, better not listen to them. Hey, you better not listen to them. And we could take it here too. For men, majority of men that get married, marry their wife because, or their current fiance, because of who she is today, the traits she has, the things that, you know, she's done up to that point. That's who they're marrying. So men marry hoping that you don't change. And what they mean by that is they don't want you to change your personality, the aura that you have, the energy that you have, the whole nine. If you change that, let's say 5 years in, 10 years in, you starting to deviate what made him get on one knee and propose to you, no matter whether it was a romantic moment or not. The fact that he proposed and you said yes. He wanted you to be that individual that he met back in 1990 or 1995. And here we are, 2024, and you're a new person. Like, let's just say you were really introverted. You only went out with your sister or your cousins. You might have went to a concert here and there. But now you're all in, like my man did. You're all up in the video. you're all up in.
You're all up every other week.
Yeah, you're on social media. You posting pictures. You know, you go to the bathroom. You know how the ladies doing it, where they poke the lips out and they do all of that. You got all the angles in the world, and he's not used to that because he's used to the introverted person where y'all go on y'all date, you hung with your main circle, and that was it. Mm-hmm. Now you extroverted, you on social media, and everybody knows social media. You could get any and everybody, Joe Blow, Pookie, and them in your DM. And that's why DJ Khaled came out. It goes down in the DM. And Yo got in there because at the end of the day, it's a real thing out there. And that video, if you watch that video, it's hilarious. But that's the world we live in, man.
Always got offers. it ain't the same on the man perspective. We got to work to get offers. They just walk outside, being a woman, and dude say, "Hey, come here." Yeah. No, no thanks. No thanks. So it doesn't matter what her size is either. She a woman.
And the crazy thing on the flip side, the women, majority of women marry hoping the man changes, meaning he might be successful when she met him. She wants him to be even better, a better husband, a better father. Mm-hmm. They always want the best for the man. But some of the women out there today, they marry hoping that the man will change, meaning you married a thug. You knew what his background was. You knew what type of things he brought to the table. You knew that he did X amount of years in jail. He basically did certain things in the street. You knew these things when you said, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you want the man to be a deacon, and it's like it may not be his, be his thing. That's just the reality of it. Yeah. You know, it may not be his thing, man. And that's the thing that I think some people go wrong, is that people are who they are, you know, and you hope the person change for the better down the road and do the right thing, man or woman. Yeah. Now, but that doesn't always happen.
You do have Decepticons where people will introduce you to their representative until they get comfortable. And that it ain't no telling when that comfort level hit with them. Some it might be the first year of marriage, or dating, or shacking, or the second year, third, and then you find out, whoa, I didn't know this person was a slob or this. Did you see the signs? Like, nah, they were like a CIA agent on playing this character that every day I go see him, we in this house. I didn't know this. and some people swear it's all. Some people are good at deceiving if they put their mind to it. I ain't saying it's a high percentage, but there are some. If they really want to, they will play that character to the T till they get tired. And then you start seeing, oh, wow,
hey, you opening up a new one with that. When somebody, you know, you dating and they wearing that mask and you know, being the magician, if you will, they're out there, and both men and women are doing that today. When you see some of the things that's going on out here, and you read about it or you hear about it on these podcasts.
Man, Millennium, I knew cats that say, man, I go to church, I be front row. At certain points, I jump up, get the word. Before I know I got two of them things, want to go have coffee. So you gonna try to date them? No, I'm trying to see what's happening. Like, you what? You went to church for that purpose? Like, yeah. Like, wow. That blew my little mind. I didn't think that was a thing. Thought I was just coming to see the movie. Like, you wild boy. I'm wrong, but I ain't that wrong. I ain't doing that. That was your intent. Get up in there and play the shit. Like, you know, observe the crowd. Okay. Get up there, get it in your little dick. Yeah. They start flocking to me, like, you knocking them off. Like, wow. So they looking for a husband, so some might fall into that fox hen, unfortunately. maybe that'll get him, and we get that ring. But he just trying to get some chicken nuggets, unfortunately. Not about it. He ain't trying to buy the whole chicken.
Yeah, man. I think it unfortunately it happens. on both sides for men and the women. And you got some people who they show you one thing in the beginning, but there's a hidden motive or a hidden agenda. I always appreciate, going to marital counseling under Word of Faith, system, because they covered all things that most churches would dare cover. And one of the things that they covered was credit. And they make you trade the paperwork. Because, most people say, hey, what's your credit score? It's bad. They don't give you the number. They just say it's bad. And that was me. If I'm being honest, I'm like, hey, I already know my credit messed up. Student loans I was like, hey, I'm just telling you it's bad.
When I got Credit Karma, you just go on your app. This one,
yeah,
right now, like
this one, man. Well, they made you in that counseling, premarital counseling, bring your paperwork and trade it, and so she could see the number right then and there. And I'm sitting there looking like, oh boy, this is my first time even looking at the thing, yesterday. So I don't even know what she about to say when she see this thing. I thought that might be the deal breaker,
oh, yeah.
And so they hit on that. Another thing that they hit on that a lot of people don't talk about, maybe more so now because it started happening, they make sure that you as the man can have children and her as the woman can have children if that's you guys' desire one day, because they don't want you to get hit with any surprises. You may be dead set on having 2-3 kids and you never know that your wife, there's certain procedures she may have to do to even have a chance of having a child, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. And so they don't like, so I thought that was powerful, man, because I've seen stuff like that too. If we're going to rock the boat, let's rock the boat, where some people won't forgive.
It and ain't
they won't forgive the spouse because you basically hoodwinked them, you reeled them in, and she wanted a child, but like you say, you didn't went out there and had the vasectomy, 15 years ago, and you're not gonna be able to have a kid, but you having fun. You having fun in the room because you're trying, but it's like, hey,
that's diabolical. Maybe it's you.
Yeah, maybe it's you. And then you put in the guilt thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, it happens, bro. So you definitely got to talk. I think, like I said, they definitely had a great structure and hitting on those type of things, and they did a really good job of letting a woman understand that no matter how much money you make, he's going to be the leader of the household. And so they was like showing the woman, hey, you got to basically allow him to lead. You guys talk about whatever, big projects you have coming up and things like that. And yeah. I mean, it was really one of those things where it just kind of like set you up to where you went in there like, dang, okay, I think I'm ready for this now.
Because now you got a lot of clips of females putting out here, where he going to lead me? Did she just say that? I love the debate. The asshole, it'd be like, no match after this ain't worth it. Then there's sometimes like, hold on, what do you mean by that statement? But where he gonna lead? Like, if you make good choices in the person you with, y'all gonna have a good life. Take care of y'all kids, y'all have them. Maybe start a business if y'all had that entrepreneurial spirit. But to say, like, what this fool gonna do for me type of response, like, and you in the word all the time? It's kind of, and a lot of people do, not just women, men too. You want parts of the word, but not the total word to be over your household. I want a man, but I need to run the show because I think I do it better than him. It's out of order. This is in God's Bible. I ain't make it.
Hey,
but you have people say, well, you justified because you making $200,000, and he get on this purpose, he grind. The next 5 years, he can make $300,000. Now what?
Yeah, it can happen, man. I mean, you really want to be that power couple in today's world, because as each generation comes along, there's one more distraction that's out there that they got to deal with.
Oh man,
You
it's
know,
24-hour distractions they got.
yeah, I mean, you look at all of the, when we was coming up in the 90s, you know, you hear the older saints, you know, all them drug dealers, the pagers, and you know, they had, some of them had the car phones and stuff like that. And then when we got to the 2000s, you know, once we hit the millennial years, we went to the information technology era with the cell phones. And I mean, yeah, man, you look at from 2000 2009, look at how the cell phones changed the game, and look at all of the different ones everybody fell in love with, from the Nextels to the Sidekicks to the Blackberries to the iPhone. See what I'm saying? I mean,
that relationship changed quickly. Why didn't you call me back?
Yeah.
I don't understand. You're in your building working. You're the only one there. You couldn't find no signal, but I was doing. I wasn't important enough. Like, is this person serious right now?
Hey, I'll tell you right now, man. Everybody always asks me, like, hey, man, you ever had a situation where a girl bust out your windows? And I always say, no, but I had one incident where it could have been a situation like that. And I didn't find out until like 2 weeks later. Oh, yeah, I picked my girl up and we rolled past to make sure we seen your car out there. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like, if I tell you I'm where I say I am, and you don't believe that I say, so it's like, now, fast forward, she would have put the location thing on me just to check where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? That's the times we in. Like, it's people out here, we talk about cheating. It's people out here right now getting caught up all because they got that damn location thing. And they like, oh,
dude, everybody got a camera phone. You can
everybody got a camera phone.
Social media, and is that so-and-so in the back of that video? That is his head. That ain't girl. Let me send it. That ain't you. That who that girl? I'm find out like you really can't. If you out here doing dirt, hey, you must went to school say, because it's kind of hard to do dirt with everybody on camera phone. It's cameras everywhere in this world.
It's cameras everywhere, man. And the crazy thing is, you know, they always say people got lookalikes out here and things like that. I was at a store one time at the mall, and I think it was Macy's. Man, Jeff, when this lady seen me, her heart dropped, because she must have lied to the dude. Told her, I don't know what she told my man, but she was with her friend, and she just stopped. She dropped the bags. She did everything, and she just stood like a deer in the headlights. And she said, "Oh my God, I thought that was so and so, because I told him I was out of town." And she was at the thing shopping, and I was thinking to myself, I said, "What if I really was, my man? Their relationship would have been over with, because you lied and said you was out of town, and you over here at the Macy's shopping." She probably was on a totally different side of town shopping, but it was crazy to see it in action.
I was hanging with a homegirl years back, riding out, going somewhere, and having her say, "Yeah, I'm in Florida." She forgot I was in the car. And I looked over like, Florida, we on one of these streets in the deep. Oh, your ass lying. Oh, they do this. And I started sitting like, has a female done that bullshit out of me? They got other plans. Oh, I'm going to Carolina with so-and-so. Okay, holla back. But I ain't running across them to know, oh, we about to go do this party, do our thing. I called him, say I made it back in tomorrow. Like, dog, I learned a new game that day. Like, I ain't know people out like that. Like, wow. Just don't answer the damn phone. That's what I would do if I would have people out. I ain't gonna say I'm in Georgia and I'm in Michigan. That's too much work. And we laughed the whole time, and she like, I straight forgot you. Yeah, you forgot. CIA, damn. I wanted to be. Just watching your ass like, that's how y'all do. Okay.
You see her in full action.
And man, to the day we still laugh at like, yep, I learned a lot that day because I didn't think people. You only buy. That's my basic mindset. Why go through? Oh, I'm in Tampa. The chance you run across someone, you can't predict it.
Right.
So all that lying, and that's another aspect when you doing all the cheating. The lying, you gotta get your story straight.
Man,
I stopped at 21 because it's more easy to be honest. Whatever it is you want, give her an option.
Yeah.
As Ice-T once said, I saw an interview. If a real one got 5 on the arm and they all want to be there because they know what it is. Like, that's real. I respect that.
Yeah, you got to
line of this and that. No, you all know what it is, and you choosing to be here.
Choosing to be there. Yeah, and see, the thing is, Jeff, you just was talking about 21. And when you fast forward and you look at us that's over 40 now, and at the end of the day, everybody grown, man. You don't have time to play.
Grown.
Yeah, you don't have time to play those type of games. And so it's kind of like, when I remember being in college and my homegirl Keisha told me, she said, Jerome, you know what? If y'all guys stop lying and just be upfront and tell us what y'all really want, you give us the option to say yay or nay. And I was like, so you tell, I told her, I said, so you telling me if I say I just want to hit or whatever and be respectful, that's leaving you to say, well, yeah, maybe we could do that or no. And she said, yeah. And I was like, so all this time I've been giving some false advice, thinking that I think that's what happens with, we talking about the lies. I think the lies came in over the years from men receiving bad advice from other men, whether it be at a barbershop, uncles, dads, whatever the case may be, coaches, whatever it may be.
Does work.
Yeah. And it's crazy because ever since she told me that, and I started looking at that when I started getting, 25, 30, when you real and you talk to these young ladies, you give them the option to say, hey, I'm at a point in my life where I'm waiting on my husband, so I'm not just here for fun at this point. And you're like, whoa, at least, because now she respects you for saying that. Now she knows, hey, this ain't going to be what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying?
I remember when I met my wife on Facebook back in 2008, I told her I ain't shit, but I'm working on it. And right now, I'm kind of sick of females thinking on what he lump, and I'm ready to go to the damn dark side. So I'm trying to be cool. And that just made her laugh. Like, you serious? Like, you have no idea, because I kept hearing from people like, see, good guys always finish last. Just try to be Mr. Good Church dude. And you need to come to the dark side, be the thug dude, and you'll get better love. Like, nah, I gotta be beat, man. Like, you can't lose yourself in the game. And overall, that works out better because you never lost being you. If you gotta not be you to be with someone, they ain't worth your time anyway.
I have to agree, man. I think my earlier years. Yeah, exactly. I think in my earlier years, especially in college, it was like I was more about focusing on others, man, and what their needs are and what they got going on. Then I realized I did all of that just to have every damn thing not even work anyway. So it's kind of like, you basically got to take care. You got to take care of yourself because I always say, I said it on one of your other topics you guys had, and I always say when I fly, I listen to those flight attendants when they say if we should lose pressure in the cabin and the oxygen mask come down, make sure if you have little ones that you put yours on first. And I always let that resonate and sit in, because if you're not taking care of you, how the hell are you going to take care of somebody else? You know what I'm saying? That's for a wife. That's for the husband. If you're always focusing on kids, wife, and you're not taking care of yourself, a lot of people don't know it, and some do, but stress is a silent killer. How you think some of these people having heart attacks at early ages, strokes at early ages, all these different things, because it's so much going on and you're not even taking care of yourself. And that's that. If we're trying to be here for 80s, 90s, whatever it is, you got to take care of yourself. And we can't do it if we so focused on everybody else that we're losing ourselves. And I think that's part of the thing, man. You got to make sure.
I know the thing I did have to learn being a nerd, which is cool. I had to mix some Boyz II Men, some pop, a little bit of Jodeci, and a sprinkle some Will Donnie. And I figured this thing out now. You're going to give me some respect in these streets when I talk to you. 27 was beautiful. From that point on, I figured that thing out. Like, okay, respect in these streets. All right, I got you.
Yeah, you definitely have to figure this thing called life out, man. Because let's be honest, not every man and woman has a desire to be married. So we get that.
In today's world, they don't, sadly.
Yeah, not everybody has that desire, and if that's your truth, hey, be real. Be real. If you're online dating, if you're meeting people out and about, just be real. You know what I'm saying? And I would say that to any other young men and young women out there today, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, just make sure that your intentions up front is real and true. Stay true to who you are. If you out here having fun right now, tell them, hey, don't expect me to be with just you,
And find a mentor if you need one. Because looking at all these famous people, you see they last crashing down from whatever crap they've been doing in the dark for years.
Ooh.
You don't want to be them. Be you.
Hey, what the older saints used to say, Jeff, was done in the dark and come to the light one day. They would always say that.
No summer hot girl and all that. Be you. Because you got to look yourself in the mirror every day. Man and woman.
You got to be your authentic self.
All that slutting you out here doing that's just spirits jumping on both of you. And when you do meet the one made for you, they may have to fall back, call Ghostbusters, like, you got to be exercised because all them people you've been dealing with, those spirits they hanging on you. Oh, Lord. You ain't ready. Let's get you in that church. Let's dip you in some of that water. Because you ain't ready. You got all that gunk on you right now. And I ain't trying to deal with all that. I done been through that already.
Hey, you just brought up a point that I gotta bring up, man. I've seen this too, where, say for the man, he's dated a certain type of woman in his past over the last 10 plus years. And now you're trying to switch gears because you change your life, whether it be born again Christian and things like that. So now you're trying to date the quote unquote good girl, but the girls that you like is out there. you know the ones that you really like is what's the words we use now? Shoe models. You know what I'm saying? They go out there, do some strange things for a piece of change and stuff like that. And when you like that type of women and those type of things, it's kind of like it's gonna be hard for you to battle the good girl versus that, because now you're going to try to change the good girl to become that, and that's not her background. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be authentic to what you like. It's like, hey, y'all might have a connection, you might have a little chemistry, but you got to be real up front as to what you used to as far as in the bedroom. Because I've seen that's what this whole cheating thing is about, man. Let's just be real. Some people
about what they like in there. A lot of areas are not talking about.
Hey, Jeff, I tell everybody, I finally get why God wanted us all to be virgins before we say I do. Because if you think about it, we were never supposed to have anybody to compare to. You say I do, you ain't got nobody to compare it to. You don't know what's trash and what's good. You supposed to just be like, hey, we learning together. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to know what trash is. So many of us Like you think about it, so many of us out here, we know what trash is in the bedroom, and we know what's good in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So if you get trash, you're like, hey, I don't know how to say this, but we gotta go. Yeah, it's like we gotta go from here to here. You see what I'm saying? And you think about that, like it. The sad part is, man, and that's what we do all the time on our show. So I'm gonna do it on your show. We rock the boat. The truth of the matter is, some people out here today, on the woman's side, on the man's side, has said I do to somebody who wasn't the best person that they've been with. And that ain't had nothing to do with the reason why they had to say I do. But at the end of the day, because they had that experience, you better not mess up. Because you mess up, and our first thing she gonna be sitting back like, oh yeah, I got my dang ammunition now. Like, hey.
And then some of these good girls, they want the Jodies and the Pookies. Which is weird. I'm doing something strange with this guy. Like, you don't even know him, but it's exciting. But you want an emotional connection with the dude you're going to marry. I had this conversation with someone a while back, and I found it very weird. But you don't want to do nothing strange with him. He likes something strange. Yeah, but we have a emotional connection. Like, man, get out of here with that emotional crap. He wants you on the sit in the chair to live. It's legal now. He can be Tarzan, you Jane, or whatever the hell y'all want to do, and you telling him you want to give him some. Wait a minute, hey, you Pookie, you doing everything that you shouldn't be doing. That's on them porn videos, like for real.
No, you know what it is. What it is, Jeff, is that a lot of people don't want to address the elephant in the room, which is the good girls like the bad boys.
Good boys like bad girls.
Yeah, the good boys. They, you know what I'm saying? You hear it all the time, man. It's like at the end of the day, it's like I know I'm supposed to be over here with the A and B students, but I want to go over here with the one who hates school right now. I want to go.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to go with the one who hates school right now, who out there in the streets for real, and I like who I like. You know, that's what they tell you. I like who I like. And at the end of the day, when you run into those type of situations, a lot of times it's not until they get into their late 20s, 30s, sometimes 40s, where now they done dated all different types of walks of life, and they realize, you know what? As much as I like the street guys, the street boys, I realized that wasn't the best thing for me. So now I have to get the person who gonna basically, rock with me.
That street persona that guy and girl have, the good guy and girl got that within them already. Y'all just need to talk about what y'all into, and y'all can let it show itself, be comfortable.
See, that's a whole nother topic.
Way they were told, "Oh, you shouldn't. Don't let anybody know that about you." But Shan she over here wild and slutting up, and you running behind her all day. You shouldn't even mess with her. And you running after Pookie, but y'all like them same things, but y'all, I can't tell nobody. It's legal now.
It's legal.
Yeah, put everything on the table. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's so many. It's funny because it's so many women out there that grew up in the church, and because of the restrictions and how the older saints were back in the 80s and the 90s, that it's certain shoes they like, hey, I don't know if I can wear this, type of thing. And you go into marriage, it's funny because a lot of people go into their marriage when they grow up in those strict households sometime, and they don't know what can be done in the bedroom. Long as you and your husband agree to whatever that is that y'all like to do, y'all go ahead and do your thing. But
and them old saints was full of crap. Let's just call it what it is, because they was wilding on the low. You got a brother or a sister on the other side of town while you telling them you need to be wrapped up to your feet, but you over here with Sister Jenkins who wore that that moose something dress every other Sunday when it was warm. And somehow your car found its way over there with a tire out. And you had to take 2 hours to fix it. But somehow your clothes, I fell into it. I don't know what happened. I'm changing the tire and somehow just levitated to that room and fell in and like, get out of here, man. Y'all tell these people, the Lord going to get you if you, and you over here wilding. And people scared to have a conversation because it's legal now. You're married. You can get as nasty as y'all want to get. It's legal. God wants you to give him a high five like my man. Appreciate that. You like, I can't get my high five because y'all up here ain't. Where you see it? Point out the book. Where it say that?
Yeah.
Where it say wear white on the first Sunday? Point it out. It ain't in my book. What the hell?
But see, that's the reason why you got to go to do that premarital counseling, because you need to hear it's okay for you to do those things, because some of these folks, man, they just don't know. They can
right.
You know, they just don't know. I was talking to a young lady a few years ago, and she was saying that she was opening a pole instructional class. Yeah, the pole that, and she's, you know, I honestly at that time it was just now starting to pop. You know, now it's known, people know of them things. But at that time, that was like one of the first. And I was asking her, like, hey, I said, who will be your target audience? And she said, I'm going everywhere. She said, I'm trying to target the people who doing the bachelorette parties, to somebody's birthday, to people who trying to just get fit, people who's trying to spice it up in the bedroom. So she was just telling me, you know, her whole business layout of how she was going to target. And now she thriving. She posts her videos and you see those people in there and they start out, you know, it's like a before and after. You see them in there struggling, can't do nothing, can't even work their core. And you know, you see them after about 6-8 weeks, they up there doing the human flag and everything. I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. So yeah, and I remember she was asking me, like, you know, what do you think about it? I said, hey, shoot for the stars. If that's what you feel like you're gonna be good at, and that's your business, don't worry about what everybody got to say. Because I said, if you sit up here and be worried about, you know, what's the conditions and all this, you'll never do it. So you just got to jump out there and do it.
Yeah, because, you know, you had some church people talk about music, and I guess call me a heathen. I don't think nobody playing no church song when they're in the bedroom with their wife or husband. I don't think they're playing. They got some Isley Brothers, somebody, or some jazz. I don't think you're gonna hear no, oh Lord, take me to the waters and nothing like that. I don't think nobody playing that in no bedroom. So why we acting like everything don't have a place? Song of Solomon was the original 12 play from when you read it. Like, okay, so for him to put that in there, he must want to create people to make music for married people to do their thing. But you know, you got some holy rollies. And I debated something back in the day, like, your dad was a pastor, you know better, like, and I'm pretty sure I didn't get here my dad and them playing a gospel song in the bedroom. Let's be real, people. We grown. come on, let's be grown. And I've asked Christian people, like, what do y'all play? I'm doing a poll because I had a conversation and they looked at me like, and they told you that? I be playing Ice Brothers, like, okay, so I'm not crazy. Because y'all are very sanctified, woo-woo. So I know I'm not married, I'm a sinner, I don't know much, but I ain't crazy. You ain't playing no whatever George Cleveland, whoever mass choir in your bedroom with your mate. Quit playing. Yeah, but it's people out here that beyond that and messing people up.
That and see, that's another thing Word of Faith was teaching. And I'll be honest about that, because I can tell, you know, from a personal experience, like, no matter whether you guys both work day shift, the night shift, you have to do date nights throughout the month, throughout y'all relationship in the marriage. Because if you start just working, focusing on the kids, focusing on this, next thing you know, you guys are basically operating your marriage like a business, and it becomes, hey, what are we doing? Did you pick up so and so? Did you drop them off? Did you do this? Did you do that? And you start kind of not even realizing it, but you're going just like this because now your schedule is so busy that you two don't really get to go. You might do a lunch here and there, but that's not really a good thing because you're still working. So you're answering your phone, she answering her phone because you're working, and you're going back. So you really want to really be intentional and still have your date nights throughout the month. I think that's key because you want to have preventative measures out there to keep the enemy from being able to pierce your what you guys have going on from those life partner goals that you have. And I think that the date nights is key. I think not posting all your stuff on social medias and everything, no matter what generation you in. I think you want to keep it. Even it's a scripture talking about a braided rope, and the third rope piece of the rope in there is God, and then it's you too. You got to keep everybody else out of your midst of everything. And if you really need something really happen that's really traumatizing, go get the counseling that's needed. But don't bring in all these outside naysayers and people who can care less, because let's be honest. I think right now, the majority of the people that's getting divorced, it has nothing to do with infidelity. it's finances is the reason people are getting divorces today.
Yeah, you probably still got some with the sex, but it's more, you know what? I tried this, I don't like it. They get on my nerve. It ain't always just, they cheating on me.
Yeah, it's usually irreconcilable differences. People saying this person changed, this person did this, this person did that. But the ones that I would say it's probably about, I think on the same stats that you was looking at, I think they were saying it's probably somewhere around 44%, I think it is, that's out there, or 34% that's out there actually infidelity, but the other folks is out there, that's getting divorces. It's everything else. It's, finances, irreconcilable differences. This person changed. I always think about the Dave Chappelle episode when they say, "Gotcha, bitch." Like you say I do, and the person switch gears on you. It's like, what did I just get myself into? This person is not the person that I was dating
some people
the past 3 years.
You don't know nobody in 6 months. God bless you if you had that movie fairy tale and y'all live 50 some years later. That's not normal. You ain't really scratched the surface of who this person is in 6 months. Because y'all still getting comfortable to let y'all guard down because you've been through some stuff with other people and you got your walls up. I ain't getting hurt again. So now y'all got to become friends to where y'all let y'all guards down, start finding out what y'all life journey to this point has been. Family, friends, and everything. And start building that team chemistry.
You hitting on something, man. I that's the reason why I said over the years, from personal experiences of seeing things, reading things, going through things, I just feel like what to help people in today's world before someone says I do, go take effective communication classes, because you'll know how, like what you brought up earlier, when you had those disagreements, you're fighting. I really want to snap on her right now and just tell you, don't, I don't want to talk to you. And you could go a good week or two. Imagine how many people out there right now get into an argument, disagreement with the spouse, and can go a good week without saying one word to them. No good morning, no good night, no good afternoon, no nothing. How was
the crazy part? She felt I was torturing her. Like, no. I know the child got made. And when I reached that point where I ain't got nothing nice to say to you, because I'm really on. I see red. Jeff, don't you say one word, because you can't take it back. That's one thing I've learned. You can't take it back because you meant it. And I know me. I don't advise anyone to operate the way I operate. I name my shows Middle Ground because I don't have it. I'm going to say the word, I'm going to burn this bitch to the ground. That's how I feel. Now, if you got on that side time burn to the ground, I'm going to tell you something to burn you to the ground, how you make me feel right now. Because you piece of crap on how you treat me. But that ain't the right thing to do. I do know that. So for me, don't say nothing. You got to cool down. Nah, dang, Jay. And God is talking like, boy, you the human torch still, dog. I want, and they'll be talking like, just come on, man, just say how you feel, dude. Take it back. Might as well say the worst players right now, because when I say like, I'm 10 toes down with it. You're stinking so. You can't take none of that back. And that's where a lot of people probably get divorced for a while, because they had them arguments and they did restrain themselves. And whatever it was they said, it cut like a sword. You can't take it back.
But you know what's crazy about that is, when you think about it, she grew up in a household, however she was raised, whether it was dysfunctional, whether it was Christian values, whether it was whatever. You grew up how you grew up. And some people, man, they grew up in like hostile type environments to where they get into your face. And that's normal. Yeah. And that's a normal thing. So you dating a, fiance about to be wife, and you get into those type of situations, it's like, whoa. And let's just say prior to that, you just had mild, disagreements. It was never anything crazy. But you say, I do, and you see a side of her you had never seen. She in your face, hey, I'll do X, Y, Z to you. You don't know me like that, this. And you're like, whoa.
They've been abused, and that's their new normal now. To where if they ask you to have a conversation, I learned that from psychology class, they would probably tell you they had the normal dating, and then they dated this idiot who always was combative, and it didn't end until they threw a pot or something at each other. So now you're dating them, and they're getting into their comfort zone of truly who they are. Y'all conversation ain't gonna end until you throw something at them, because that's the new normal. But you don't know that. So you looking like, what the? She possessed or he possessed? What's wrong with this? That's their new normal of arguing from that last person they've been with for 5 years that they probably forgot about. They want to bring up because a lot of bad memories. But when they really get heated, we throwing stuff. We always about the WrestleMania scrap up this boy, but you don't come from that. Yeah, so eventually they might become more abusive to you to get that normal ending. That's normal for them now, but it's abnormal for you because you just, man, I was stressed. I'm my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, but no, like you mother effers up. You mother effer. You like, all right, I love you too. Like, what? That's their new normal. That's how they communicate.
That's why I always say, man, you whoever you're dating, whether it's the man or it's the woman, I always say you want to see that person under pressure, whatever that is. You want to see that person angry for whatever that is. Like I was ignorant, man. I don't advise anybody to do this type of stuff, but I was ignorant when I was out here because my thing is I want to see what your triggers are. I want to see what's going to get you to go over the edge. I want to see how you handle pressures of life and everything, because it's going to let me know what type of person you are and everything. Are you the type of person that go from 0 to 100? Are you a type of person that can, kind of like you just was talking about Wusan before you actually, go out there and make it a World War III? Or do you just start firing from the hip? I like to know what we up against, because it's like some people don't realize they're toxic. You know, it's like you can really date somebody
That's true.
that's toxic, and if you don't know what you up against on the front end, so I tell everybody, that's why I tell everybody, don't get caught up in the body. Don't get caught up in just the sex alone. You know, you got to get caught up in the person, because that's the one you say you want to be with. You know, I always tell everybody, every time I go out, if we go to the sports bar right now watching these girls' games and the men's, I guarantee you, if we would sit at the bar, and somebody's gonna come in there and tell me their life story every time. It never fails. That's the reason why I tell people I didn't want to go be a life coach and all that, because I do it for free, just sitting at the bars and the different things, because people come up and when you have these people that's going through these real life situations, man, you just see the hurt and pain on their face, and you're like, man, you know what? I'm not gonna give this person some bad advice. I'm gonna tell them some real sound advice so they can know how to heal and move on from this situation, because, you know, sometimes you can stay in a situation and it's going to work. Sometimes it may be meant for you to leave. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, back in the days, you know, we used to see Big Mom and them generation stick around. And in this generation now, people out of here, if you sneeze the wrong way, it's just like.
But by the time we was graduating in 96, that generation, when the last kid was graduating high school, they got divorced. You're like, dang, they just up. When kids get out the house, united front, I'm sick of your ass. I'm out of here. I'm going to do me. Like, it was like an exodus of the baby boomers. Famous and non-famous people know, like, this man for 25 years and got divorced. That's weird. Like, dog, it was a lot of stuff happened that they was able to keep that the kids didn't see, and they decided for the kids, we're gonna unite in front, get them out of this house, get them on their path. We done.
We out.
And you like, nah, it's a lot of 40 subs out here in these streets. Like they was doing the old school take care of home. Now he probably sitting here, if he was the dude doing it, dang man, I shouldn't did all that. Or if it was her. Another person out here, they playing smile, live my best life. Like, I ain't got to deal with this food no more. Like, they out here. There's somebody grandma, what's she doing?
Hey, it's funny you say that. Like, you got to think about it, man. You got people now, and it's been like this the last probably 15 years. People having divorce parties. You know, they celebrating this thing now, man. People like, hey.
You really did something. Don't want to throw a party that they got.
Right. They get the cakes and everything, man, and popping the bottles.
Put the little thing around. I'm divorced. Like that. You failed at life at the moment to have someone feel that way about you. It's like they getting their freedom.
Yeah. Like you said, they get their freedom walking papers. Go be able to do after 400 years. Hey, here you go.
The worst thing you can realize to that person, you the villain. Like, I ain't supposed to be your enemy. Dang, how did we get so far away? Dang, I didn't realize that's how you view me. I'm the villain. Like, damn.
But you know, it happens, man. That all falls into that lack of effective communication over the years. It all falls into the lies. All fall because you know one terminology a lot of people are using out there right now is, you know, hey, he's a compulsive liar. He's a narcissist. They say those things. He's a compulsive liar. He's a narcissist.
I ain't heard.
Yeah, they like to use the narcissist word. It's a lot of that, you know, and you know, for the men, that's why I always say to answer that question in short is hard, because some guys, it's emotional support. They don't feel like they can be vulnerable, you know. They don't feel like
you got
the wife is a safe haven to be his piece. And that's how the side pieces, you know, end up coming along in those situations, because they are his piece in those moments and the emotional support. There's some guys out there that's cheating because of the sexual desires and lack thereof in the bedroom. I think that
and it's sad.
I always say when you say I do, you have three categories. You have, the wife. If she decides to become a mom, some people just choose to have pets, so they call them fur babies. But she becomes a mom, and the thing that some people fail to realize is you was his girlfriend before you became his fiance and before you became his wife. So please don't lose the girlfriend along the journey of y'all marriage. And what's the girlfriend? You know what the girlfriend is. Not wearing the bonnet 90% of the time in your household. Wearing the nice clothes that attracted him when he first met you and all of those things along the way. That's why I was talking about the date night. Make sure y'all keep your date nights during the months, whatever's in your budget. If it's twice a month, 3 times, whatever it is, make sure y'all do that regardless of your schedule. Because that keep the outside people from barking on your territory. If you never spending time with your spouse, they always say idle mind is the devil's playground. I always like to hear the story of Joseph, and when he was running, he said, "Hey, you're gonna be in charge of everything." And a man's wife basically tried to set him up because he didn't want to sleep with him. And you think about that in the biblical times, and you fast forward to the times that we're in right now, and I always look at that story and I say, man, it's a little deeper than that. He was so busy out there working as the husband that he left that wife alone, and she still had sexual desires that I haven't heard a pastor talk about. So she's sitting around there looking at this man built and everything, like, you know what? Says, yeah, I ain't getting it over here. I'm about to get it over here. Yeah. And when he didn't take it, she basically said, hey, he tried to rape me, type of thing. And then, he got thrown in the hole. But I feel like, man, we just live in a day and time where we all grown now. Even if you're young right now, you're in your 20s, just grown. Be real and then upfront with your intentions with the young man and with the young lady. Young man, if you know all you want to do is hit and run, it's a way to go about it and talk about it and let the young lady know that you hear, like Drake say, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. It's like you got to let the young lady know that you're not trying to date with a purpose. You're not trying to be.
I'm lying.
Finding that wife. You're not trying, you got to say that because at least she can say, hey, you gave me the opportunity to say yes or no to that. And I respect you for that. And so I think that's just real.
Yeah, it is. Because definitely, if you get to a point where y'all getting married, that man should be able to break down and cry in front of you if he's going through some stuff and you hold him down. Because in our community alone is a really fucked up thought that we are terminated. We don't have emotions. We got to be strong 24 hours a day. That dude's going to snap and kill somebody. Because life is a burden. Being the head of a household is a lot. And then he got to go out in the world, in this country, as a black man, dealing with all that come with, and he can't come home and be a little vulnerable around his queen because, it's all suck. Girl, some sucker want to cry. We're going to get him a kiss and call you back. He ain't got that. Go get it out. I got you. What happened? Let's go get him. Mm-hmm. He ain't getting that response. He get, no, this old buttercup soft dude. Man, I had to suck it up like for real. This what I said I would grow old with? Wow. That's a chamber that sit there like, I don't know about this. So I can't never have a vulnerable moment with you, huh? Always got to be Superman, 24/7. Okay.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing, man.
Clark Kent around.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing, man. You you got individuals out there who don't feel appreciated, and that could be the man or the woman. They don't feel if they don't feel appreciated, that you value the things that they're doing, that they bring to the table. It's kind of like, what are we really doing? You know,
it's a lot to be a husband and a wife in a home or trying to build something with a total opposite who had a different life experience than what you had. And y'all trying to build on y'all experiences together. That's a lot. Without the outside forces want to get their 2 cents because they think they know what's best for you. And their situation ain't better than yours. And that's most cases, unfortunately.
100%.
You're married 50 years, y'all in the church, sanctified, saved, are your kids good? You got a number hill up in your house. But you trying to tell me, man, you don't let me tell you what you need to do. No, thank you. You know, there's a book out, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table. I'm gonna read. Why don't we get this Bible and we try to figure this thing out together and close the door? Because I'll see this last 30 years and I want that. And they mean well, but your example ain't helpful. Because they still got to figure out on their own.
They still got, I always tell everybody, I wish more churches did it, where you have couples who been married for 30, 40, 50 years, and they're able to tell their stories, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh, yeah, I threw a frying pan at that fool one day, like, what? What's the world? Hey, that dude, he had to understand something.
Yeah. I think if they really did that, man, I think it'd really be a good thing because right now, if I'm dating today at the same exact age we are today, single, I don't really trust the system right now, to be honest with you. I don't like what I'm seeing in the dating realms in the world out here, because everybody's out here for self and they doing their own thing. And it makes, when you see that, it makes, as a man, it makes you be a person where it would be hard to trust in today's dating world, based on what I'm seeing, because I'm hearing the stories and everything.
Our relationship marriage gotta be social media ready. The lights, everything's peachy keen. We had 2 months where everything was just falling apart. I'm out of here. Can't look for the front door. It's us against the world. We figured it out. I'm called Louis. He got money. You suck. And them 2 months passed, and you back on pack. I'm like, oh, dang, I left. Yeah, you left too early.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be roses all the time. There's gonna be seasons where y'all go through some stuff. Y'all might not like each other for a hot minute. It happens. But y'all need to come back, date night, talk it out. What's going on?
It's definitely gonna be some it's gonna be some hardships along the way. And I think that's another thing, man. People really need to dissect those vows if you're not customizing and doing your own thing. Because when you really listen to what they say rich or poor. And that's for the women, to me, because the women are the ones who focus on financial security. So if that man doesn't make that $400K or that $1 million or that $10 million or that $30,000 next year, because life happens, man. Some people have terminal illnesses unbeknownst to them within 2 to 3 years of their marriage, and they like everything changed. Disability.
Oh, a recession wiped out a lot of people's savings.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, they say sickness and or in health. When you go through a sickness, that lets you really know what's going on, man. I done seen that sickness thing really mess up some marriages, because the person looking like, Yeah, I wanted to be a helpmate, but I ain't want to be helping and be no caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
Well, life happened. You know what I'm saying? Nobody plans to have an accident, a car accident that puts that person in that wheelchair, but it happened. You
You
know,
should love enough to wipe their ass.
and that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah,
so
that's
you know,
real.
people
That's
they really gotta start dissecting those scriptures, because it's some things that, like I said, life will throw a curveball at you, and
mm-hmm.
what you was used to can change overnight. Overnight. You know, that's the reason why you don't want to date as the man. You don't want to date just because of the body or just because of the beauty. Because man, you could have a house fire, and what happens when the face you once knew is not the face you see today?
Now, let me ask you: before you got married, did you have this thought to yourself? Okay, I'm about to embark on some real grown man stuff, being the head. Well, I already know as a black man, our community, they think we suck. We ain't gonna take care of the house. My mom or friends gonna say you should have got with so and so. So you gotta make sure you're home. The boat might rock, but you can't sink. You ever had that thought before you got married?
Yeah, man. I think as a man,
we got it. Me and you gonna do it. Let's go.
I think as men, we always self-evaluating and looking at where we want to be in life. I think you do that when you graduate from college or high school or not. If you go to some apprentice school, vocational school, tech, we're always looking at, it's like a game of chess. You got to make your next move your best move. And I feel like for most men, including myself, I was just out here dating, to be honest with you. It was just like dating. Okay, you know, I get a girlfriend. Okay, cool. Or I'm out here having fun. But most women are actually looking to get married. That wasn't necessarily my desire. I always said, if I get married, here's what I want.
I thought by 22 I would have been married.
Yeah. See, I never had that. Cause I remember when we used to always talk about that type of stuff. You did have that type of, you know, saying vision and insight. For me, it was just, I was more so focused on where I wanted to be and what I wanted to be doing. That it was kind of like, yes, I want kids. Yes, I want to have a family, but it's not a priority for me. It's kind of like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always tease me because I end up having my kids so much later than everybody we graduated with. But a lot of people didn't really realize I was real strategic for a reason. I seen the baby mama dramas, and I'm like, that ain't what I want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the lifestyle. That ain't the lifestyle that I want to live. And I chose to just take it easy on that route and just go like, okay, if the right person come along, I go and get the ring. I'll go through the whole thing. So just like what you was just talking about, I'm looking like, okay, we're gonna do this thing. That's why I did the premarital, because I knew there's no handbooks to this thing called marriage. All you could do is go to somebody who knows that word way better than you, break it all the way down, break some of the layman's terms of what they done in their marriage that worked and didn't work, and you just take the pieces of the puzzle and you try to just make this thing, you know, go into the right direction, you know. And, you know, here today, we got 2 kids together. Is our marriage perfect? No. But I can honestly tell you that you got to do things in your marriage to have fun, to make things enjoyable. If you like to travel, travel. If it's international, go international. If it's domestic, go domestic. But you got to do things that y'all enjoy. And you could do those things as a family. You could do that thing as a one-on-one. But I always tell everybody, you don't have to. I heard people over the years say, man, when you have kids, you won't be able to go to those countries like that. And I was like, well, that's you. That's your story. Don't come telling me what I ain't going to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? That just because you don't put up money and try to go on these things and everything don't mean I'm going to be unhappy just because I have children. As a matter of fact, I went and got passports for my kids. I got to get one for my son. and everything, because I wanted, once I seen my daughter didn't remember half the places we took her, I'm like, well, damn, that defeated the purpose. She didn't even need to go over there. You know, she didn't even remember the damn thing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not putting my son through that. So now, you know, that he'll be 5 this year. I'm like, now it's time to travel, because you start remembering at 5. You'll remember those things and everything. So yeah, man, I think that what you talking about, that self-evaluation, it's always, we're always looking through that lens as men. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I know you're looking through a lens of what your personal goals are career-wise, your personal goals, you know what I'm saying, with books and all these other things. We're always doing that self-evaluation, man, because I think life, man, is like a ruler. We all measured by certain things, and we're looking at the goals and the visions we have for ourselves. We're looking at what God has given us as a purpose in this life. And so we all got to drive and the ambitions to get to those things, but not everybody tries to go out there and do the work.
Yeah, I got 4 years. My goal is retire by 50, but run my own company. Me, that's retirement. It's mine.
That's it. That's it.
I do meetings all day. I don't care. It's mine. But I ain't working for nobody else.
Hey, I got a similar one to what you're saying. That used to not be my goal, man. I actually thought, you know, I never thought I would be doing the corporate ladder type thing, but I always thought I worked till like 60 and call it a day. But I'm like you. I done switched that 60 to 50, man. I gotta live. I gotta see this world we live in now before, you know, I'm in, you know, 20 years later talking about I still got to work at 70. I'm seeing that right now, and I don't like to see the things I'm seeing with the seniors out there working to 70, 72 because they feel like they have to.
Like, for real?
But you know what's crazy? I tell everybody, just because you was born here in the States don't mean you got to end here in the damn States. That's how I look at it. So if it's going to cost you $300 to be over there in Thailand, then guess where the hell I'm going to go? $300 a month, and I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right there in the damn country, learning their language, so I can live a better lifestyle and go on a budget, opposed to sitting over here talking about, man, well, we can eat, but we ain't gonna be able to go to that event. Or we can go to that. We can go to that event. Hey, we can go to that event, but we ain't gonna be able to eat. And it's like, you want to be able to eat and go to the event. And I feel like if that requires you to relocate, man, because I think with our generation, it may not mean us being here in the States, man, because the cost of living is soared to the point to where it's just crazy. I don't see this stuff going down, man. I mean, it may go down a little bit, but when you talk about the housing, the way thing is right now, I mean, kids gonna be staying home now until they get married.
Renting a house or apartment out here is like $2,000.
$2,000.
I remember
all the condos they building downtown. I guarantee you, they probably 22 to 2,600.
25 easy. 25 easy. You know, I do remember seeing a clip of Ice Cube on Instagram where it asked him about what would you tell someone that has an idea for something. And he rip, if you're not you don't want to give 5 years to it when you probably might not make a profit. Don't even start. Because it's going to take a lot of work, learn from failing, the ups and downs of it before you get to where you're trying to go. So if you ain't for that grind, don't even do it. You know, like, everybody ever thought they became successful, they kept working at it. It took a minute. And then when they hit, all right, I know how to keep this car going. Now let's keep going this direction. Let's branch out that way.
I've been saying lately, man, everybody's one idea, one phone call, you know, one more interview away from things just taking off. because all it takes is one.
Oh yeah. I already know this thing's gonna be global. And when I had my building at Wayne, and I'm a total diva just for that 2 seconds, I want pecan pie from Georgia. You got 2 minutes. You gotta figure it out. Check ain't gonna stand itself, damn it. Just that moment. Is he serious? I'm playing. Here you go. I just want to see that little thought of your head, like, how we gonna get to Georgia? We want that check. Hey, Jeff, you have a ride.
Hey, when you writing them checks like that, man, people got them private jets and things like that for a reason. Some people got.
Yeah, I know I will have a ride that they like.
I always tell everybody, some people be focused on the foreigns and the car you're gonna get. I tell everybody, y'all keep all them cars, man. Give me the private jet. I want to, for once in my life, finally be able to not have to deal with the same TSA everybody else dealing with. I want to have a different TSA.
Hey, look, watch Smallville, all them cats. I gotta have a jet. I'm ready to go. Hey man, let's ride out to Hawaii.
Hey, I want the vehicle to pick. As soon as I walk up the steps, you hopping right in the car. Right now, I got to go through all them people, go get my luggage. Then they lose something. I got to go stand in the line. I don't want to have to deal with none of that.
Nope. I just want to say, hey, wheels up a 10. Where we going? I'm gonna get the globe and I'm gonna do your little ritual. Like, yep, we going there. Let's go. Hey, I'm paying for the gas. Get up in the air. Let's go. That's life. I'm a habit. And make sure I'm putting up people along the way as well. So we all can get
hey, that's good, man. Hey, like I say, keep that vision going, man. Keep grinding on your show like you're doing. And like I said, again, I thank you for inviting me out to come on here and partake of this conversation. And I know you usually do it like with closing remarks.
You can do it if you want. You kind of made it.
I just say my closing remarks is there's no one way, a reason why men actually go out there and cheat. I think the best thing to have success in a marriage is to really have effective communication. I think premarital counseling is a must. It's not an option. Whether you a believer or non-believer, I think it's a must because you're doing something that was based out of the Bible. With you and your significant other, you want to make sure you have the best chances of your marriage working. Because like I said earlier, the wedding day is just a day. The marriage is where the work is. You got to work to be happy. Nobody wants to hear, hey, you on the clock. But once you say I do, you're on the clock. And it's up to you two to make sure that he's happy and make sure that she's happy. And the best way to do it is, I didn't bring my Bible down here, but the best way to do it is to follow those biblical principles. Even if you don't believe in God itself, you follow those principles and do the things of a godly woman of virtue, and a man of valor. I think that you will have a better chance of surviving what I call the downfalls of man out here today. And that's a whole nother topic in itself. But I think it's so many distractions out there that those things can look good. And they always tell you everything that look good is not good for you. And so you can't just fall for the bait and fall for those different things. I think that communication goes a long way. Sit down with your wife, sit down with your husband. Hey, I think we can do more things to spice up our room activity. I think we can go on more dates. I remember when you used to say such and such to me. I really like those words of affirmation. I really like the acts of service. When you get into the love languages, I think understanding your spouse's love language is key too. Because people forget that. You forget that along the way, man. You start having kids, you're working, and then me and Jeff, you thought, fuck this shit. You might come home and say you done, man. I mean, it really can get rough out here. it's certain days I come home, man, my kids greeting me at the door. My son up here, hey, you didn't want to play the video game with me. My daughter telling me something. It's like, man, you just really have a lot on your plate. And I think it's just having a well balance. And for me, it's God first. And then leading the house is the best way that I can. Basically being present and expressing and showing my love the best way that I can, and trying to do fun things, as a family and then individually. I think that stuff goes a long way. I got married in 2006 and we in 24. So we're coming up on 18 years this year. And I can tell anybody it's not easy. You can think it's going to be on cruise control if you want to. Mm-hmm. Just like on that plane, how you can hit that turbulence, you're going to hit some turbulence. And you can be like everybody up there talking about, whoa, oh, Lord. Or you could be the person that's going to remain calm and keep praying like you've been doing and know that things is going to, get back out on the right track and be smooth. But it's up to you two to get that thing to work the right way. You could go this way, or you could come together and work together with that effective communication. That's the words of the day that I give you: effective communication.
I expect this type of talk. Bible studies are always good to have Bible study. It do remind me of a conversation we had back in 2002 at my apartment, where the Lord was talking to you. And you like, why don't you follow more of what God wants you to do? I'm like, man, his boy gone with that God talk, man. God over there to the left, leave me alone, man. And I don't know if you remember, but it dawned on me like a few months ago. Jerome said, if you do what he told you to do, you can do music, you write books, do this, do that. Like, I don't want to do all that. What are you talking about? I'm like, man, this dude got me doing ministry, man. God is a stinky sucker right here. I'm straight doing ministry with this stuff, man. What the world? Like Jerome told me that 20-some years ago. And you was labeling order like, I don't want to write no more books. What are you talking about? I do music. What the hell wrong with this guy? You can speak. You was labeling. You do movies. Like, dude, what is he? I'm trying to make music. What is he talking about? You was labeling. Damn, the most of stuff about title. Like, what's wrong with this guy? I ain't trying to do all that.
Hey, that's the powerful thing about the Holy Spirit, man, because I always tell everybody, I wasn't that guy. I wasn't that guy, man. That's the thing. That's the thing about how God operates, man, because I'm looking like, hey, as soon as you start talking God, I'm going this way, man. I'm out. I don't want to hear nothing. Y'all getting too deep. I don't want no parts of it. And the way God came to me, man, is the very thing I was chasing, which is women, came to me in the woman. And I'm like, ooh, you called her Lexi. And I took that, like, when one of the gifts she gave me for Christmas one year was the Bible, the NIV. And okay. I took that as God saying, what's your excuse now why you don't read the Bible and get closer to me? And because that NIV was speaking like how we talking right now, and I was like,
you big on not understand the old
school. Hey, I don't want them Negro spiritual songs. I don't want to hear no Shakespeare, thus and thou, and all of that. It remind me of Miss Constance and all of no. I don't want no parts of that, man. I didn't want no part. I can read it now, but back then I just wasn't on that level.
How we talk now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, man. And so, when I came over there, that's how I tell everybody, man. When you had that Holy Spirit experience, it's real. That's why I'm like, hey, Jeff, you may not want to hear this. I remember I always start with that.
Yeah,
I always start you may not want to hear this.
I'm like, man, look, I say go left, go right, God right there. Like, that ain't enough no more. Like, man, it's just go with that jibber jabber, dog. I'm telling where to go. Go to Fecal, go to Myers, God right there. I done my job. Let my call right now, Jeff. And you damn near everything in my title you was damn. I'm like, I don't want to do all that. What are you talking about? Oh, you know, a musician with the author. What this dude? He smoking? He smoked dog again? What's going on? And call me dumb because I was doing a interview show with Tiffany. When I get my church, she's gonna be one of my deacons. And she kept calling me past the whole show like, we're gonna have one of them type of nights. I see right now what you playing. And I'm like, dog, you doing ministry right now, Joe? Jerome told Joe, but what did you She laughed. I'm like, okay, I'm like, oh, wow. And I remember that whole conversation, like he was naming half the stuff you doing now if you submit. I'm like, nope. Mm-mm. Go on, Joe. I ain't trying to do all that submit. Come here.
You know, that's the funny thing about when you accept that call, man. It's like it's certain stuff you just like, I'm not ready for that. You know, it's like I know you my father. You want me to do all of that, but hey, I'm telling you, I'm not the one. Like you think I'm the one, I'm not the one for that. But it's funny, it's like a boomerang. It's like it's gonna come back to you. Whether you wanted to or not.
Me being the Moses help someone find their purpose. Did we see that back in high school? I didn't see that. Me reaching out to people, strangers.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, man. Yeah, it comes back full force. But you know, you did take the journalism class. You did. It's certain things you start looking back at it.
See. Now you talking to that guy, like, and this first thing that I heard in my head. Well, you did interview Isaiah Thomas. You was school paper, so you got some of it in you. Like, that ain't enough. Yes, it is. Get to it. I didn't realize this was journalism, dog. How stupid I am. When I did that one event downtown, I told John when I was talking with the congressman, Donovan, forgot his last name. He's like, no, yeah, I gotta look out for the black journalists. I'm like, John was like, about time you said it out loud, like, man, I look at podcasts and journalists. Like, yes, it is, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
That's definitely part of that platform. It's just that now, like you said, you know, people hear the word podcast, you don't really think about the underlying thing of it.
I didn't think journalism at all, man. Like,
but that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you in here interviewing people week in and week out, all walks of life, and you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, the pitch was in. You was in on it, everybody. I guess my final words would be cheating don't help no one because the problem's still gonna be there. You know, hopefully y'all can have a real conversation about it, counseling or pastor, whoever. Or if you just start with y'all, pull the Bible out. My favorite scripture is this, because right now I'm feeling like ABCD. Now, if you ain't that Christian light, maybe get a bottle of Jack or some Gatorade. Whatever y'all need to do, have a real conversation, put everything out there, and gotta work it out. Whatever you got to do to have that true conversation. I mean, I know. Well, I'm just going to put the knife, the gun, the bazooka, everything on the table on what your problem is with the person. And y'all start working out each one to where that table is empty. And y'all go from there.
Yes, sir.
It was a good episode.
Yes, sir.
On the Friday. I expect that on Friday. Okay, we're going to talk some smack with it. Like, let's come with the word.
Hey man, I told y'all versatile. I know y'all used to be being the hooligan and everything, but hey, at the end of the day,
I expect Deacon Jerome.
Hey, that's see everybody, y'all ain't believe in me, man. That's what it is, man. Y'all
I know it was in you. I'm like, okay, we gonna talk about this, probably talk a little smack, Joe. Like,
no, man, you got to get it. No, the reason, because like I said, I was trying to speak from the marriage standpoint. I can care less about the single life; they can do their thing, you know. But when you on the marriage side, man, I try to get some real sound advice. And because it's from the Bible, it's like, hey, we got to throw some scripture in there. You know, you got to have a little bit of principle as you go into this thing, because it ain't going to be easy.
No, it's not.
It ain't going to be easy.
No,
I won't lie to your people on your side or our side. Hey, don't think this thing going to be easy. I can tell you, this ain't no layup line.
I can truly say shout out to my homeboy Kurt. When my situation went left, and I was straight on, man, I'm dark side. Bumped in. You're going to put respect on my name these streets. I'm tired of being a good dude. And Kurt, that ram in the bush, like, that boy Kurt, what up, though? I was thinking about you, Jay. You want to do some Bible study? Like, I ain't heard this man in eons. And most of 21, we had Bible study.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, you knew, because I told you, I ain't never going to lie to you. It's either save the world or burn the damn thing to the ground. And I'm burning this thing to the ground. Darth Vader ain't going to have nothing on me. I'm sick of being nice. Y'all going to respect me. Nah, get really mean.
Yeah, really mean before you go to the other side.
Yeah, I was there. Like, what's the point? These people are right. Being a good, that sucks. Let me show you what evil look like. And I'm going to do it the right way, because I ain't going to lie to nobody. I'm going to show y'all suckers how you supposed to do this thing. My daddy was a pimp. I could do better than what he did when he was out there. I could do it. I was on that bull. I ain't going to lie to you. He had 400, 401. I was on that shit. I ain't going to lie to you, man. I was straight dark side. That was like, oh, man, that's my dog. Come on. Let's go. Let's get him. Like, yeah. Hey, Kurt. I got baptized. I do it.
Oh.
So even the devil think he got you, God still he has someone that he know you'll listen to. Reel you back in.
Absolutely.
Gone, man. Like, They ain't met apocalypse. They gonna understand who I am in these streets. You gotta respect me. Oh, you on the yet? You on the yet? All right. You gonna see the bad guy. You ain't gonna like him either. Like, dang, but he cool as hell with it. He's so honest. Really honest. What it is. God know.
He definitely know.
You know. I hope y'all got something out of this. Share with people. We had a form of Bible study. Maybe I can play it, pull out some scriptures. We covered some, but hopefully help you out. Whoever listen or watch it down the road, keep trying to work on it. It ain't too late to give up on it just yet.
Amen, brother.
Amen. And on that one, y'all have a great weekend. Season finale next week.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
All right, later.
What?